cuarto, tienen moña, tienen feria y mentira que al final ellos tan a otro nivel.
Hey, so what's up, guys? This is Gabby from Team DeathNote. I'm over here with another deck profile. It's about Son Gohan. It's a perfect way to troll your opponent. This is a troll your opponent deck. I'm not saying that it's super competitive or it's competitive up to a state, but if you ever want to have fun at your local, you want to mess around with your opponent, you can use this deck. Now the deck consists of some crazy stuff, you know. It's just a unique brew that I came up with, and let's get this deck profile rolling. It's Son Gohan, of course. If you guys don't know, if you have more life than what your opponent does, when he attacks, you draw a card, and at 4 life or less, flip him over. He awakens, you draw 2, he becomes a 15k body. Has the effect that when he attacks, you draw a card, tap 6 of your key energy, and you get to blow up your opponent's side of the field due to battle cards. So now, let's go on the way of how I made this deck and how it is to troll your opponent. Now, this deck seems very, very weirdly, but it's going to be running 4 Videls, she's a blocker. 4 Krillins is a blocker. This deck is blue-green as well. So the deck is just going to consist of a whole bunch of blockers. 4 King Kais, he's a blocker. So these are your turn 1 play to make sure that your opponent does not hit you. So we're running 6 of the turn, 12 turn 1 play blockers. We're running 4 Ready to Strike Piccolo, which is a blocker, and he dumps your opponent's hand. So the way I came up with this deck is, what's a good way to troll your opponent? By blocking, wiping the field with Gohan, and getting rid of his hand. To just slowly dumb down your opponent. Doesn't really matter what he does. He can try to blow up your field, of course. Whenever you want to take a hit so you can have more cards in hand, you can. You just take the hit. You don't have to block, or you don't have to call out a block on the field. We're running 4 Whis the Sacred Guard, just because to take this dude off the field, you know, they have to really, really go in. After you block, they're gonna want to attack the Whis, and then you can just combo out, or just use another blocker like Videl or Krillin, or even the King Kai just to block, and he will stay on the field. We are running 2 fully trained Super Saiyan Son Gohan, just because you need somebody with double strike in the deck, so you can always be ahead of your opponent early game when you're trying to draw, because you're not trying to get hit in this deck. You're always trying to stay in front of your opponent, just so you can have the mechanic of you drawing, so you can always plus your hand size, or if not, your hand will go down to nothing, and you will actually lose, because you won't see any cards in hand to call out any type of battle cards out to the field. Now, in that case, we're running 3 of the Mass Saiyan, the Mysterious Warrior Bardock. 3, just because he's a field swiper. Any size 3 drop combos that they call out there, any type of little funny number 16 they have out there, or like gold 10 that makes you discard a card from hand, he could just go in and just get rid of them. We're running 3, because on top of that, he's a double striker 20k. Like I said, you're always trying to get ahead of your opponent. We are running 3 Super Saiyan Son Goten, just because that late game you can untap 2 and draw a card, make him plus to your hand, and as well, he's a double striker. And the 1 Awakening Rage Son Goku, just because we're running Krillin in the deck, so you can hit that triple strike. Okay, guys. Now, with the more defensive plays, we're running 4 Ultimate Judgment Jackals, because like I said, your opponent is going to want to attack the Whis once you block with him. So after that type of response, if you have no type of response of blockage, you have to combo out. So you put the cards back to your opponent's hand so Whis can stay alive. 4 of the 10k draws. It's necessary, it's a 10k draw. Going into the extra cards will be 4 Whis Corrosion to negate. Once again, you have to negate, block as much as you can, so you can stay ahead of your opponent. So you can keep on plussing while you're wiping his field. He's literally gonna get really annoyed. He's gonna try to rush you down. You have a lot of blockers. You have some negates. You have some combo triggers. So once you get to 6 to 7 energy, which we are running ramp in this deck, 3 objection. Once you get there, you start to obliterate your opponent's field, with Piccolo possibly dumping their hand down to 6. So the deck becomes very, very annoying, guys. 3 Sensu Beans, just because, like I said, to protect the Whis, or when you're trying to attack with the Goten, so you can untap another 2 and try to play another card like Gohan to get you a Piccolo blocker, and then you can call out a Free Videl or whatever. And 3, results of training, because like I said, you want to awaken first in your opponent. Sometimes, you know, you're going to block so much and defend so much in this deck, they're not really going to have a chance to take away life from you, or you drop down to 4, which you don't really want to drop down to 4 like that. So we run 3 results of training just to make sure that you awaken, so you can always get the +1 draw from your leader instead of trying to keep yourself ahead of the game, because it comes up to one point in the game where you actually let your opponent hit you just so you can draw into cards, so your hand could be just a little bit bigger, guys. This is the deck that I came up with. Like I said, it's not super competitive, it's not tier 1, but it is a fun way to play the game. It is something that you want to sit down and you want to have fun. You take out this deck, you know. We're always trying to create new creative type of ways of decks, new type of way of gameplay, you know, for different people out there. Some people don't like to be aggro. Some people just like to sit down and kind of let the game drag out. I'll say that this is somewhat of a control deck due to the point where your opponent can't really touch you. I'm not saying that it's not possible. It is. But due to the fact that we are running 12 blockers in the game, and 4 of those 12 blockers, it's hard to take off the field with 4 negates and the Jackals to combo back, and the Piccolos to drop your opponent's hand with a leader that blows up your field, and cards like Bardock that if you don't want to blow up your field because they don't really have too much stuff, you go into the Mass Saiyan or you drop a Goku, you swipe their field again, swing for double strike, and you just keep eating away at your opponent, guys. So yeah, this is my Son Gohan troll deck, blue-green, and let me know what you guys think about it. And also, we're having a segment in this video. We're gonna start doing that. You guys submit a creative deck list if you guys want to, and we'll actually build a deck up to an extent. If there's some cards missing, you know, we can't put those cards in. But we'll try to build a deck, and we'll try to play it out, see what type of creative plays you guys can come up with. If you want your deck featured in our channel, just remember, just leave a comment down below on this deck profile. Tell me what type of mentality do you have with this deck. There's a new way of playing, and let me know with you guys, because we might start go live when, I'm not really too sure, but there's an ARG States popping up on the 14th of February, so this month, and in a couple of weeks. And we're planning to go live to record the event. I might not play just to go live, or we might we might set something up with the car shop owner to see how we could do this. But yeah, Gabby from Team DeathNote. Peace out.
Que lo que es fortuna.